Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Women show their true nature in the shadow world. Now, I haven't talked about the shadow world in a long time, and when I talk about the shadow world, I'm talking about the sexual shadow world. That's that place where women show their true selves. It's where they express their real sexual desires. Like the surface of the shadow world might be like swinger parties or BDSM, fetish communities and something like that. And then another part is women having no secret affairs. But it's wherever in general, and it could be wherever a woman can be her true self. See, a lot of women are either sexually repressed or they are holding back. Because quite frankly, a lot of men get intimidated if this woman shows she can do something. That's why a lot of men are really concerned about a woman's high count. They try to say, oh, well, she have trouble bonding and everything. But I thought you just wanted sex with her. Why are you trying to bond with her? So they concerned, there. So they know they can't talk about like some of the crazy stuff they did. And let's be real, a lot of men know they can't compete with it. So that's the real thing. Yeah, I know somebody gonna talk about all the other stuff, but whatever. Here's the point. Women know they want to be free sexually. So they will express it with men who can handle it. So they will do all the freaky stuff that they really want to do in the shadow world. That's it. So wherever they are, and it could happen anywhere. They don't have to go a place. Yeah, they might go to some like swinger parties or something like that, or some secret parties. Okay, that's one place, but it could be that woman who's like a soccer mom having sex with one of the kids that played on the team with her son. Or it could be that librarian, she get with that studious dude, that married librarian. Is wherever she can be free. Because one of the things is women will deal with certain men, particularly maintenance men, and they'll do stuff with him that they won't do with their husbands or boyfriends. That's a key thing to keep in mind. They will do stuff with, that's the shadows. That's the shadows. And see, that's where you see a woman's nature. See, a lot of guys think they can watch some videos and let some content creator who's probably clueless himself talk about, oh, this a woman's do that. Or they feel like they know more. You got some guys out here feel like they know more than the men who actually getting the women. It's like, how can you know if you're not having sex with them? Because that's the way you're going to see her true nature. That's the only way you're going to see it. Not what somebody tells you. Not because she rejected you or didn't want to go out with you for whatever reason. That's just a tiny part. Until you see what a woman does behind closed doors, that's when you know. That is when you know. That's when she's doing some freaky stuff, or she's being real submissive when she don't show that out in public, or she doing some role play. She wants to be tied up, has some handcuffs on. That's when you see it, And unfortunately, most men ain't gonna see that. So that's why they feel like, well, we know more. Like, I give you an example because people always use that Chad and Tyrone thing. I remember seeing some videos, some guys feeling like, well, Chad and Tyrone, when they gonna get red pilled? Shoot, they be 100. If they in the shadow world, and if these are the type of guys in the shadow world, getting women, having women do stuff, having some women who are married do stuff, have them, some women who want you to spank them do stuff. Doesn't that beat out everything else? Because you sitting there witnessing that. That's why I always say it, and I did videos on that before. That's the real red pill. When you there, that's a real black pill. When you actually witness it, when you actually participating in it, that's when you really see it. That's why even now, some women can say stuff, because I've always said, yeah, women say this and that. I already know where the real cap is. Because I can look at some women. If you get experience with the shadow world, you can already look and see if they'll dip in. I've told women, I told a woman that she needed to be careful. She opened to cheat on her husband. And then she, for an hour, explained why she would. And I just saw it. But if you saw the woman, she looked like one of those prim and proper types. There's always some secret if you know what to look for. But see, here's the thing. A lot of guys won't go get anywhere near it because their real issues is with sex itself. They got limited experience. The women, weren't ready, or the women picked up in them that they didn't have that type of vibe, or, definitely a physical appearance, but also the type of vibe. Because there's some guys who physically look good, they won't see the shadow world either because of their mindset. I always use the example of F-Boy Island. Yeah, some of those guys were F-boys, but some of those guys were nice guys. And trust me, they were tested before they got on there. They probably had these reality shows, they'll have some psychologists. They don't talk about it enough. So it's like, yeah, you gotta look a certain way, but you gotta be a certain way. Also, too, one of the things in the shadow world is you can't talk about it. You can't talk about it, or at least you can't talk about the particular woman you was with. Because I'm not gonna lie, there's been more than a handful of women who've called me up or reached out to me once they saw I was doing videos, and it's like, you ain't gonna talk about this, are you? And I was like, no. Now, the ones, as much as I've told y'all, there's some stuff I still haven't said because I gave the woman my word. And even the ones I might have said some stuff about, I ain't giving anything identifying about them. Very limited. And then, and it's usually the ones I ain't dip into the shadow world with. So that's one of the things. That's one of the things. But that's when you really understand a woman. Because see, once you see the sexual side, like you right there, you seeing what you seen her what she does in public, and then you seeing what she really does behind closed doors. And just having sex don't mean it's behind closed doors, because a lot of women give men starfish, pancake sex. They just laying there. They ain't really giving you like the full thing they would give a man in the shadow world. But once you see that, once you understand that, then you like, oh, then you know how to even look at women differently. And like I said, they gotta hide it because most men can't deal with it. Most men can't. They think they can. It was like, no, just a woman rejecting you is nowhere near the shadow world, nowhere near the understanding. Because if you understand a woman's nature, you know how to, and you understand the sheer chaos, then you know how to bring order. I wonder who that's gonna go over the head of some people. But once you understand that, boom, boom. But to even get there, you gotta do the stuff I'm telling you to do. You gotta get your body together. That's a prime entrance in there. Just looking good facially is not gonna get you in the shadow world. Because in fact, woman, you could be what Cousin T-Tar will call ugly, sexy player and get into the shadow world, because they ain't gonna be seen publicly with you. They ain't trying to have your baby. So, but you do gotta have a body. You do gotta have a sexy body to them, because that's a prime. There may be some exceptions, but very few exceptions. So that's the thing. That's the thing. That's where you really want to see it. But you got to work to even get to that point. And I told y'all what to do. I got plenty of videos, on-demand videos. If you go into the description box, just go through the on-demand videos. I'm telling you how to even get in there. And you can't force it. And let me be clear, it's not a place. It's not a physical place. Yeah, maybe some swinger parties or fetish places, but it's not a physical place. It's wherever you at. It is wherever you at. It's out the corner of your eye. But the woman you gotta make sure you seem like the type, you got that physicality, mindset, and you gotta keep quiet. You gotta keep quiet, and you'd be surprised who's in there. You'd be very surprised. So anyway, that's all I have for now. I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.